This episode of the D-Lew Podcast is brought to you by Happy Wrap. You ever wanted to design your very own gift wrapping paper? Now is your chance to do so. Whether it's for the holiday season, weddings, anniversaries, birthdays, no matter what the occasion calls for, you can use Happy Wrap to wrap your gifts. As a matter of fact, you can even design notebooks, greeting cards, gift tags, and so much more. You can sign up today at happy.thedlewpodcast.com and use the promo code DLEW to get your 10% discount at checkout. Again, that's happy.thedlewpodcast.com and use promo code DLEW to get your 10% discount at checkout. By Simpler Hair Color. Hey guys, are you tired of using that drugstore hair dye brand that isn't getting the job done? If you want to use a great product to cover those grays, have no fear, Simpler Hair Color is here. No mixing, no dripping, no mess. It's super easy to use, whether you're a beginner or a pro. Go to simpler.thedlewpodcast.com and use promo code DLEW10 for your 10% discount at checkout. Again, that's simpler.thedlewpodcast.com and use my promo code DLEW10 for your 10% discount at checkout. And by WWE Shop with Fanatics. Get your favorite WWE Superstars merchandise and wear them proud with superstars like the OTC Roman Reigns, Rhea Ripley, the Second City Saint CM Punk, John Cena, Main Event Jey Uso, the American Nightmare Cody Rhodes, and so many more. Oh, by the way, they got some really cool championship belts in there as well. So go to wrestling.thedlewpodcast.com. Again, that's wrestling.thedlewpodcast.com so you can go to WWE Shop with Fanatics. Welcome to another edition of the D-Lew Podcast, brought to you by Siete Media, powered by Believe Network. I'm your host, Derrick T. Lewis, and I hope the week is treating you all wonderfully, and Labor Day is this weekend. I cannot believe how fast this summer has gone. I can't believe how fast this year has gone. I just saw something on Instagram in my one of my friend's stories that said Christmas is 4 months away. I can't believe it, but we're going to be singing Christmas carols in less than 4 months. Unfreaking real. But this weekend, as a matter of fact, obviously it's Labor Day weekend. I'm going to be spending time with the family, and I hope you all do as well. But on the 2nd, next Tuesday, is going to be the opening reception, the opening ceremonies for the Newark International Film Festival in my hometown in Newark, New Jersey. Looking forward to it. The music video, Espacion, is an official selection for Best Music Video. I'm looking forward to it, so keep your fingers crossed for your boy and hope that me and Angie Stars come home with the dub. Looking forward to that. But this week, is my interview with pro wrestler that I've known for close to 7 years, with my affiliation with the world famous Monster Factory, Daniel Alexander. And he and I, sit down and we talk about his life growing up in Philly, and his humble beginnings and all the things that he went through, to get into the world of professional wrestling, all the ups, all the downs, and everything in between. And let's not wait any longer. My interview with the next big deal, The Energy, Daniel Alexander, starts right now. Well, ladies and gentlemen, it gives me great pleasure to introduce to you a man that I've known now, over 7 years, due to my involvement in the world of professional wrestling, especially, at the world famous Monster Factory. He himself has been in the industry for almost 10 years, you know what I mean? But his accolades, are unparalleled. This guy, he was a 2024 Funhouse Wrestling Mayor Cup winner. He was a one-time CPW light heavyweight champion, a former one-time TCW light heavyweight champion. He's a one-time APP tag team champion, a 2024 Omega Kings Gamble winner, a one-time We Are One high-flying champion, a one-time We Are One Omega champion, a two-time Monster Factory middleweight medallion holder, and a former Monster Factory tag team champion. But above all else, he's a devoted father. And he's all the way from Philadelphia. He is the next big deal, the energy, the one and only Daniel Alexander. Daniel, thank you for giving me your time. How are you, man?
And thank you, and man, for that introduction. Like you said, we go way back. We go way back in the Cadillac with four flats with a tire on his back. You ran it down completely, and I appreciate you for that, my guy. The voice of vibe, there's T. Lewis, my guy. I appreciate you.
All right, man. Like I said, pleasure's all mine, man. Like I said, thank you so much. That we have been wanting to do this for a while, and I'm glad our schedules were able to align so we can definitely get through with the interview. But I want to talk about Daniel Alexander, the young Daniel Alexander, for that matter, from Philly. Talk about life growing up in Philly.
Man, everybody know being from Philly. Life from Philly is just like life in Philly, man. You go with the flow, you go with the punches. Some people got a dream, some people just dream to stay alive in the city. So you feel me?
I got you, man. So, what were some of the things that you were involved in, like as a child growing up? Sports, recreation, all these things. What were some of the things you were involved in?
Well, we don't have it that much now. When I come off of work, I see certain centers, police athletic leagues. So we used to play at the power centers. We used to play ball, baseball. We used to get the guys together, play some football, manhunt, tag. You feel me? Recreational stuff like that. Sometimes we created our own recreational stuff to stay out of trouble, or sometimes get into trouble. We kids, we don't know what we doing. So you feel me?
No, I totally understand that. Got you. So, talk about what was fascinating to you about pro wrestling as a young child. Talk about those early days and what caught your eye into the world of professional wrestling.
Well, when I first got sight into professional wrestling, my grandma was an avid fan of professional wrestling. I'm talking about King Kong Bundy, Andre the Giant, you
Hmm.
feel me? The Immortal Hulk Hogan. Shout out to all the greats that came before all of us. But you feel me? She was watching. I guess it was like advertisements. I'm young, so I don't know if it was pre or post this WrestleMania, but I'm seeing advertisements of Hogan and Ultimate Warrior still there. So that was my first glimpse of what professional wrestling it was, and I'm automatically hooked. But mind you, in the '90s in Philly, that not everybody got cable. We barely got local televisions with it, you know, so we could barely see what we was provided unless people had VHSs and stuff. So my grandma
Hmm.
used to watch VHSs, and I'm hooked to them. But once we started getting cable and local television started popping up more and more frequent, I'm seeing Monday Night Raw, Eddie Guerrero, Rob Van Dam, two of the goats that paved the way for me to allow me to achieve the dream by watching them. So I'm seeing them fly off ladders on the Monday Night Raw for the Intercontinental Championship. From there, I was hooked.
Wow, man, you and I have something in common is that our grandmothers were very, very instrumental in our wrestling obsession because shout out to my grandma, Corrine Scott. I miss you so much, grandma. But between her and my mom, they both fed my wrestling habits. So if my mom wasn't ordering pay-per-view, my grandmother was. If my grandmother wasn't doing it, my mom was. So between those two, my wrestling appetite was always met. You know what I mean? So I totally get what you're saying when it comes to that. But you mentioned something too about moments, right? We talk about it was you didn't mention not one wrestling move when you talked about the stare. It was a stare down between
Mm-hmm.
Warrior and Hogan. It was a ladder match. Now, granted, they were probably jumping off stuff or whatever, but these were just moments. You know what I
Yes.
mean? So, to your point, that's what captivates us as fans. I feel where these
Well,
moments in time, and you're just like, man, I remember. You know what I mean?
yes, sir.
So you did some from what I understand, you did some backyard stuff back in the day.
Mhm.
Talk about how that came because we hear it all the time. The Hardy Boys got started in the backyard when their dad got them a trampoline and things like that. You hear about so many guys that did it. And there's nothing to be ashamed about because ultimately a lot of guys got signed off of the strength of that. Hell, CM Punk was a backyarder too. You know what I mean? So talk about how that you and your friends were able to say, you know what, we're going to get this backyard federation going and go from there. How did that come to be?
Before I break that down, there's a lot of stigma behind backyard wrestling in general from any
Right,
course of life.
right.
So to me, I'm one of the ones, and I think I'm very much short. And there's some that are doing them that was under me. So shout out to them. But I believe I was the last one to really wear it on my heart, on my sleeve, and
Right.
perfect the craft from backyard to pro to be able to say this. So there's a lot of stigma behind it, but you hit it on a nail. Some of our greatest that we done watched have been backyard wrestlers. And hell, some of us done wrestled our brothers and sisters in our pillows to achieve this dream. So don't knock what you don't try. Don't knock what you haven't tried. Don't knock but you can't explain or understand.
Agreed. Right.
When my guys got out of school, we basically we was knuckleheads, so we could find trouble just by walking around the corner. It's trouble.
Right. Right.
So
Right.
out of school, we couldn't figure no other alternative to keep us together, to keep us alive, to keep us
Hmm.
united, to keep us safe, and you mean out of trouble. So we just randomly picked a park, one of our local parks, 33rd and Cumberland in North Philly, and we just start having random wrestling shows every Saturday and Friday with amongst 6 guys. So that's just like 3 matches a day, or maybe one match because it's a big 6 guy match or a fatal four way, and then it start
Hmm.
clicking. The community guys, the little kids getting invested, everybody and the community coming together. You know how you see community barbecues?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
So when we do our wrestling shows, the community just randomly pop out with certain things, basketball courts, pools, boom, boom. So we just made it a thing. And ever since then, like we just did it annually, and it stuck till I actually got ruled from it and was like, what can I do next? And to save my life and to save my mental, I went to professional wrestling school so I can further my knowledge and further my dream and my passion for this. Because at first it was a hobby to keep me out of trouble, keep me out of, you mean, jail, and keep me, you mean, close to my
Right.
family, my remaining family I got left. But now it's an ultimate goal for me to add my 1% to.
Right. Wow. That's amazing. So, what was that moment, when you were doing the backyard stuff that said, "Yo, this is the next step." What was it that clicked that said, I need to take this next step"?
And I think you going to agree with me when I say this. It was the connection with the people. It was the connection with the kids. It was the connection with the fans. They could see what I'm going through. I know what they're going through. I see what they're going through. But we have a common connection and a bond that no matter what we're going through, even if we don't understand it or we don't know what it is, we have some
Right.
kind of understanding with my pure entertainment and the connection I have with these people. It's like I can't explain it. It's like aura. It's like vibes. It's like you can't speak about it. I can't. You feel me? It's like I can. They can look at me and be like, "Dang, what's wrong?" Knowing damn well I could be hot and be a bad mask with a smile. And I could be the
Right.
same way. What's wrong? Oh no, everything's okay. No, it's not. So it's the connection like that, not when everybody patting you on the back type of connection. It's the connection when the people see that you're in your downest moments and you go still fight through everything. Feel me?
Right.
Regardless of what the position is, you still fight through everything. You still keep it pushing, no matter how hard life is. That's the connection that I got with inside the yard that made me transpire
Right.
it, professional wrestling. And I knew from there I had that connection, regardless if I couldn't wrestle, regardless if I ain't had high flying moves, regardless if this is I was that the people was going to allow me to be me, the best character I can be.
Wow, man. That's deep, man. So, once you made that decision that you said I'm going to go to a wrestling school, how did you do your vetting in regards to finding the right school to train?
Crazy thing is, I ain't even know wrestling schools exist. That's why I was doing backyard.
Right, right, right,
I
right.
thought you can get a buzz on internet because internet started popping and you can build a brand and you do all this. And I didn't know
Right.
professional wrestling schools was a thing until I started. And way before I went 4 years before I went to my factory, I used to work at a nursing home with my man, your guy, and my guy, everybody guy, baby, I've been at Anthony Bennett. So before we was even wrestlers, he was like, "Yo, what you want to do? What you want to do? Busting suds in the kitchen. I want to be a wrestler. I want to be a kid and play gimmick. Yada yada yada." You mean I'm an old school '90s, and I'm like, I just want to be Alexander the Great, best version of me. And
Right.
come full circle, I see my man's on the cruiserweight classic.
Mm-hmm. We're talking 2016.
And I'm
Yeah,
thinking like,
man.
okay, when people make it big time, they gonna be fronting and they ain't gonna keep it a bean and they're not gonna reach out with their peoples. But I reached out to Anthony Bennett and less than a week later, he proved to me how he really is. It don't matter if you made it or not to the upper echelon. He reached out to me and said, "This is the school I went to. This is the school you should go to and apply for." Granted, I went to CZW at H2O, did a little training class there. But once I went to the Monster Factory, and I was already peep game to the Monster Factory because my peoples put me on Monster Factory content years
Mhm.
before. I just didn't know it was a school. I just thought it was like how professional wrestling is. You go to a place, you
Right.
see wrestling, that's what they do for a profession. They train at these facilities, but I didn't know it was local indie facilities all over, let alone Philly, New Jersey, Delaware, or the world.
Right, 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 right. Yeah, man. I remember because I became a fan, at going to Monster Factory shows like in 2013.
Mhm.
Somebody that used to who was a trainer there was a general manager at my gym, and he was like, "Yo, man, you got to come out to a couple shows." And I met Anthony Bennett and I met Shaheem Ali that day. So I would always follow the factory. And then when I saw where Ant got put in the Cruiserweight Classic, I was like, "Oh, this is huge." You know what I mean? So
That made me believe again.
yeah, that was. I mean, I was happy for him. I was really, really happy for him. So once you sign up, for the Monster Factory to train, talk about those early days training at the world famous Monster Factory.
Mm. Still, I don't even know because I might get some heat or I might, you feel me? People might love me because it's me. But when I first got into the Monster Factory, my first day, bro, I reeked of awesomeness. I'm gonna keep it PG for my kids out there. I reeked of awesomeness, so don't reek of awesomeness, kids. Wait till you get older to reek of awesomeness. You feel me? So Danny Cage told me to sit my ass down. But I watched as all those students bust their ass, not knowing wrestling or knowing wrestling, or however long they were there for my longest my stint was there for those first couple months. It was amazing because all I did was just watch everybody movements, watch the moves, watch the cadence, how everybody treat each other, and boom, 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 boom. And then by then I was hooked. I already kind of sort of, yes, I'm still a knucklehead and I'm going to make a lot of mistakes. But on top of making a lot of mistakes, I know how to rectify and correct it and move in a better way.
Right.
And that's what the Monster Factory in my early days has showed me, not just the in-ring physicality and what wrestling is with the 10% of those in-ring moves and matches. I'm talking about the etiquette, being a better human being, the cadence, how to treat people, how to talk to people, just do your job.
Yeah, that's one of the things. I mean, Grant, I'm a ring announcer, and it's like I didn't go through wrestling training, but I mean, just seeing what you all go through, constantly at training and things of that nature, is just like, man, like there's a respect level that has to be there when you walk through those doors because
On those mats before we come into that ring and bring any bullshit BS that we've been through on the outside, we wipe our feet no matter what it is. So we won't bring that or spread it around because it's infectious. So it's spread. Negativity and BS can spread.
absolutely, absolutely. So during that time, talk about some of the guys and girls that were there during that time during your early days at the factory that when you were training.
Yeah. I mean, Manny Soriano, Getty Cahoon, Royal Money, Shaheem Ali, Major, you feel me, McLean, the MV, Miranda Vanette, Hyena Hex, man, Notorious Mimi and Goldie, two I came up with for sure, for sure. Sammy, Felix Fernando on NXT, the referee. Come on, man. It's like Nick Camarado. The more I'm trying to stop, the more names keep popping in my head. I don't
Right,
names out. You feel me? Shout out to the
right.
coaches too. Missy Sampson, Ricky Reyes, Damian Priest. You feel me? Come on, man. Danny Cage himself. And I'm a Larry Sharp kid, whether everybody know it or not. And that nursing home that I speak of about Anthony Bennett, I always used to bring Larry Sharp personal trays to his room, but I did not know it was Larry Sharp. I know
Oh
his
my
name.
God.
I did not know he was the owner of the Monster Factory. No. Once I know his name was Larry Sharp, and I'm delivering meals to him and talking about wrestling, and I'm seeing a wrestling memorabilia all on his wall, but he's not, remember, he just tapped into his wrestling. So at this point, it's all he knows is wrestling. So in his last years, I didn't know this was Larry Sharp, again, the owner of the world famous Monster Factory. So everything come full circle. When I found out that, oh, this was the school that I go to, that was the man I was serving meals and having conversations with, boom, 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 boom. This was his school. This is the tournament I'm in. This is the boom, boom. Oh, man, everything full circle about this professional wrestling thing with me. Feel me? And it saved my life. So
Wow, that's incredible, man. Rest in peace, Larry Sharp. Now, how long did it take for you to really adapt? Because you were doing the backyard thing, and now you're training in the wrestling ring. How long did it take for you to really adapt and adjust to taking bumps in the ring and doing all those drills and things like that to get yourself accustomed to that?
that came, honestly, really, it came natural because I was already like the same avid way I study right now. I was always like that as a kid. So when I'm watching Eddie Guerrero, when I'm watching John Cena, when I'm watching this boom, 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 uh, that wrestling, the sequences, the moves, and even when I go in there, might mess up once or twice. But repetition breeds habit, like Danny Cage always say. And as long as you just keep drilling and betting that in you, it's second nature to me. So I was already doing it in the undergrounds. I was one of the underground wrestlers, one of the backyarders that could put on a classic professional wrestling match. And we're not even really in wrestling rings. This is what I'm getting from everybody. So once I went to training, it was embedded into me. Now I'm gonna add some length to this because this is what I felt. I got the actual nuances of wrestling, not just the bumps and all that. Because me, I'm already a wild boy. I'll just fall on the ground right now just to make you laugh, type shit. And I could get up like I took a bump, so that was
Right.
nothing. It took for me being under the referee position for 3.5 years for me to realize the complete art of what this thing is about. The referee role to me is the most vital role. And yes, I could have been active in the ring sooner than most of my predecessors, brothers and sisters that came before me or with me. But I felt my position was to soak all the knowledge I could and be the A1 referee so everybody else can get up in reps. And then when my time come, my time come.
Talk about that because when I showed up at the factory in 2018, you were indeed one of the referees. Talk about the art of refereeing, being that third man in there or third woman in there, because there's a lot of women referees in there. Shout out to Aja Smith. Shout out to Jessica Carr. Shout out to Aubrey Edwards. You know what I mean? Shout out to Charlotte. Yeah, absolutely. Shout out to her. Now,
Shout out Charizard.
yes, sir. Yes, sir. So talk about the art of that and perfecting it as a referee, because that's a really important position. A lot of people don't realize it.
It's just like being it's like being a road instructor. If the lights is
Okay.
down on the street, if the lights is down and the
Hmm.
traffic don't know which way to go, who let them let first is a traffic instructor wearing that black and yellow or green and highlighted coat that's letting you know, hey, wait, boom, boom, boom. But also, it's an art to it because we're not supposed to be seeing the show.
Right.
The silent referee, a referee that's not in the way, is the best ref, but also that referee should be able to know how to get the wrestlers to the spots. Let the wrestlers know when the time is. Let them know when to fall back and let the crowd feel this. Oh, when to take away from certain parts. When he means the referee is basically the narrator, the guideline, the blueprint, the tour guide of
Hmm.
professional. If the referee, I mean, we the safety unit too, because the wrestlers go so hard that they don't even know they knocked themselves out.
Right.
Referees to let each other. You mean so? Is all the referees like also got the best seat in the house? Everybody paid their seats, but the referee got the best seat in the house, and it's free for him. He in there counting the one, two, threes.
Yeah.
Hey,
Is you mentioned that because I think about some iconic matches over the years. When you think about Hogan and Andre, and the late great Joey Morella was the referee for that match. Hogan Warrior at WrestleMania 6, that was Earl Hebner in that spot. The Rock and Hulk Hogan at WrestleMania 18, that was Mike Chioda in that match. So there's been so those when I think about high marquee matches, and I was like, who's that third man in there? That was really the important guy in there, and it was those guys. They had to count had to count those shoulders down. So for people, and we mentioned him earlier, but shout out to a guy that used to be at the factory, Sammy Miami, who's Felix Fernandez down at NXT as a referee. He just refereed Triple Mania down in Mexico City. Shout out to him. That was incredible. I was so happy for him. But he's a referee, and that adds longevity to your career as well. But I wanted to ask you, what was the biggest piece of advice that anyone in this business provided for you?
hmm. Actually, it was Damian Priest. Like right before he left and with the Ring of Honor, and he had like one last training class at the Monster Factory. He basically said like he'd been in the game for 14 years and half of it he wasted just playing games, even partying, and you mean. So when he said that to me, I kind of sort of was thinking the same way about myself because you feel me. I let a lot of obstacles and a lot of things take me away from the dream that I thought I could never have. But now I'm not letting nobody or nothing take me away from my dream that I know I can get. So I'm going to go balls to the wall to change my craft, change my mindset, change the people around me, change the elements. You feel me, and take over the game and add my 1%.
It's a really good piece of advice, and clearly a man
Time
that
don't
became,
waste it, basically.
yeah, and that's a guy that's been on WrestleMania. So kudos to Damian
Won the
Priest.
world championship at WrestleMania
Yes,
last year. So shout
sir.
out to the OG. And I ref his
Yes.
last match, so a lot from at Monster Factory. So that means a lot to me too to see him from me counting one, two, three for his final match, his goodbye to him cashing in at WrestleMania. It makes me again another one of those moments where your dream can come true, bro. Keep grinding.
So I've actually bringing out a lot of your matches and talk about your style. Talk about the way that you paint the picture on the canvas, your art. in regards to your brand of professional wrestling?
Damn, that's a good question, bro. Uh, Damn, I'm just like I'm more of a people's entertainer. Like I wrestle, my style. Like yes, everybody say yes, you flip and fly and you do all the flashy shit and you dance and blah blah blah. I wrestle to the people's heartbeat. I wrestle to the people's vibe. You feel me? Whatever they want me to do, however they feel. If they want me to be the bad guy, which 9 times out of 10 they don't, I won't be the bad guy. I'm gonna be the guy that they need. You feel me? I'm gonna be the guy that their kids can relate to. Even if I'm an OG, I'm a young boy to them. You feel me? I can relate to their kids. They got a big brother by their side, type shit. Like I really can't break it down into moves and styles and all
Right.
that. I'm just a wrestler for the people. If they want me to turn up and be heel, just let me know. I'm gonna turn up and be heel. I'm gonna be the bad guys. If you want me to be the bad guy, I'm gonna be the good guy. If you want me to be the good guy, I'm gonna just be in between. Whatever you want me to be, I'm a wrestler to the fan base.
Now there was one.
However it take me time coming. No diddy.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Now, I did a sit down about 4 years ago with you and Marvelous, and it was for the middleweight medallion. It was a ladder match, and I was proud of that. And I want to talk about that match as some other matches that you had that you really that you think of, whether it's at the factory or outside the factory. What are some of those matches that you put on a pedestal and said, if you was to show a total stranger, say, hey, oh, what's your name? Oh, I'm Daniel Alexander. What do you do? Oh, I'm a professional wrestler. Oh, what's talk about some of your favorite matches. What are some of those that you put on the pedestal?
I'm gonna give you shit. It's like five. Really, I wrestled Black G's, and that one match taught me a lot. I
Shout out to the
wrestled,
OG.
yes, I wrestled Ricky Reyes again, another OG. I wrestled on his goodbye out to the Monster Factory, and that match taught me a lot. And he told me something vital: take care of your family in which way I can. So this is the avenue I'm gonna choose to take care of my daughter. And I mean, facing Royal Money in the Larry Sharp Cup a few years ago, that turned me my aggression up to make me realize I stand with all the big dogs in the game. You just mentioned it, the match with Marvelous, the whole saga with Marvelous. You feel me? That saga with Marvelous for that middleweight medallion spanned us 3 years. It got us to 2,300 in a 6-man match. Like at 2,300 arena, our dream of all dreams in the wrestling profession, being from Philadelphia. So Marvelous was my guy, and he helped steer my career. You feel me? He brought me to the light. So I mean, that's one of them I can put out there. But one that's really sticking to me, and that's really grinding my gears right now. But I would put that up there. Is me versus Oliver for the Omega Championship at We Are One from February. The reason why I hurt so bad because that's my best friend, my dog. He saw me grind to become what I am today. And just for me to see all the people at We Are One turn on me and favor him more, not only that, he took my championship that I grind so hard for. He seen me put the brand on my back. And the other time you let me live, so I had to take him out at the end of the match. And this upcoming, next Saturday at We Are One, I'm gonna take him out again and get my championship back.
All right, man. That's a nice promo for We Are One. So you mentioned it, and it was a perfect segue. I'm glad you brought it up.
All right.
2300 Arena, Step in the Arena Monster Factory, June 30th, 2022. To say that was life changing for me personally is an understatement. As somebody that watched the OG ECW back in 1995 on public access TV up in Newark, New Jersey, and seeing all the OGs that paved the road that wrestled in that building, the Sandman, Tommy Dreamer, Taz, Sabu, rest in peace, the Pit Bulls, the Gangsters, obviously New Jack and Mustafa, the franchise Shane Douglas, Wild Bill Wiles, Danny Doring, Roadkill, the list goes on and on about people that wrestled in that venue. So when you got word that you were going to be in that six-way match, that's I guess the six-way match for the middleweight medallion, at 2300 Arena. Talk about that for a second. What that meant for you being a kid from North Philly.
Yeah, that meant everything to me because in that current time in my life in wrestling, I felt like there's nothing else I could do or wrestling wasn't for me no more. So I was on my way of kind of sort of like all right, let me just hang wrestling up. Still be around because my energy is so infectious to help other people out. But you mean just the wrestling aspect. You mean in
Mhm.
ring, then y'all get the brand. But it been, you feel me, on a little hiatus. But Danny Cage gave me the opportunity to join the cast of wrestlers that was also in that six-way. And that I bust my ass to train, I bust my ass to get my body right for it, my mind right for it, and it actually turned out to be one of the greatest matches of my career.
Yeah, I mean that was I mean first and foremost like just I had the best seat in the house sitting next to the great Kevin Kelly. You know what I mean? And just seeing all you guys. Yeah, man. Yeah, I mean it was incredible to see. And sometimes I watch that back, on YouTube on the Factory's YouTube channel, and I just pinch myself. I'm like, "Yo, we really did that?" Like we
Mhm.
really like seriously, that was a 4 hour show. It felt like our WrestleMania that night.
It
I
was.
hope, I seriously hope, and I want to ask Dan about this someday. Yo, could they do a documentary about that day? I know it's on the docuseries Monster Factory, but for those that were not featured on that show, I would love for just to do like a behind the scenes or just kind of just do a sit down and talk about that day because it's part of that day that I remember. It's a lot of I do remember, but some of it being really really foggy because there was a lot of moving parts that was going on. There was a lot of people, from Ring of Honor. The Righteous wrestled on that show that day. You know what I'm saying? Steve Macklin, the Beer City Bruiser wrestled on that show. The list goes on and on about some heavy hitters that wrestled on that show, but also a lot of us that were on it. And I got to ring announce every single match, but. I really, and now I'm glad we had this discussion because, man, like, not a lot. We could always say June 30th, 2022 was life changing. You know
Yes.
what I'm saying? It was truly, truly life changing.
But
So, go ahead.
you did say something. How about we possibly go back in time and get like a documentary about that day? We have a second opportunity.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
That was like our WrestleMania, and our actual WrestleMania Turkey Slam will be back at
November
2200
20,
Arena. So step
number.
into the arena two, Turkey Slam Rumble, you feel me? We out here marketing, you feel me? And we gonna do our own backstage interviews. If nobody, TV streamers want to pick us up, we gonna vlog our asses off. We gonna document our own stuff.
Yeah, man, because when I got word about that we were going back to 2300, I'm like, oh man, this is going to be really, really cool. And
We
it's going
need
to be all factory people
NBC
there.
to pick us up. We gonna get NBC to pick us up one day.
Yeah, that'd be great. That would be awesome. So you mentioned, obviously we are one and things like that. Talk about some other promotions that and some other promoters that you wrestle for that you want to shout out that had given you the opportunity to hone your craft.
Well, first and foremost, let me shout out to God. That's the number one promoter in the world. You feel me? And let me shout out to you feel me, Missy Sampson from Bell to Bell, Danny Cage himself from the world famous Monster Factory. You feel me? Darren from Super Crazy, Billy Fesky from Titan Championship Wrestling, Anthony Cole from Recombination Wrestling. You feel me? Tim from Battleground Wrestling. There's a lot of promotions. You mean Magic from Funhouse Wrestling? There's a lot of promoters. Matt Pro, Worldwide Dojo. Like it's a lot of places that even if it's one stay, two stays, or three stays, or a long stay, they bangs with your boy, and I'm trying to do everything I can to add my 1%.
Let me ask you this. This gets really, really deep here. Talk about what motivates you to continue to do what it is that you do.
You funny as hell, bro. I struggled as a youngin. You feel me? Like I'm talking about struggle, and I don't want my baby to struggle type shit.
Hmm. Right.
So all I do is for her. You feel me? Like, I grind nonstop. I'm losing sleep. You feel me? I'm taking my craft a lot more serious because even if I don't get signed, even if I don't, you feel me, get the dream done like everybody aspired to. You feel me? Maybe the dream ain't for everybody, but I'm gonna keep hustling until it's for me. But until then, I'm trying to create an avenue in the lane where I can take my daughter out of the situations where I was in. You feel me? Type shit. I don't want to see my daughter struggling. You feel me? She not struggling. She got the. You mean? the best life she can have right now, opposed to the life I grew up in. So, feel me? My ultimate goal is just to make sure my daughter is secluded, my family good. You feel me? And I can put my city into a greater light than what it is.
You mentioned
That's
something that's really important,
why I'm doing what I do, bro.
right? And you mentioned something that you've talked about this a lot. You have it on your tights for the youth. You do everything for the youth, and how you want to change the perception of as far as where we come from. You know what I mean? Talk about that and what that means to you being a role model to the young ones.
Because man, I was just like them. You feel me? I was a product of my environment. You feel me? My mom and dad died young. You feel me? So, and I was raised by my grandmom. You feel me? Helping raise my sister while she's sick, and she passed off. And I'm 15 years old. Have to live life to the fullest, but also be an adult at 15 to help raise my sister. So, is a lot going on with in my mental. And when I see the youngins, I see the for the youth youngins, they just want to be kids, bro. And even if, especially the youngins where I see all out here in the streets, bro, like the gun toters, like that's one of my main focuses of steering my youngins in the right way. Like guns ain't it no more, bro. They want y'all to pick up the gun so you can either take
Right,
y'all out or they could book y'all for more money in their pocket. They want
right,
us to take each other out so they ain't got to do the job no more. Because if we don't take each other out, guess what that's going to force them to do? Take us out and expose themselves. So I'm trying to get my young boys to understand that. Also, it's key to chasing your dream, bro. Like, even though a lot of people ain't chase their dream, the dream is still obtainable. You can still reach your dream. Just hard work, dedication, persistence, and loyalty will get you every which way. Show up for work. You mean, like Hogan said, it's cliche, but say your vitamins. Eat your, you mean, say your prayers. Eat your vitamins type shit. Work out. You mean, be humble to those around you.
right.
Lend a helping hand. You feel me? But a lot of people don't think like that.
Yeah, and I mean, and to your point, a lot of times, when you have to put those positive affirmations out there to people, because those, depending upon their situation, they may not get those positive affirmations, right? So,
Home, they might not get it at
right,
school, they might not get it at work,
right,
and they love life with their brothers and sisters. They might not get
right.
that where they come from.
So I think it's important, for us to really put that positive light, like you said, out there to show, hey man, if they can do it, then I can definitely do it too. And you see people like that look like us that are on television. You see guys like Bobby Lashley, MVP, Shelton Benjamin. You see a host of people that are out there that are really making a positive, looking at us in a positive light. Titus O'Neil, shout out to him. You know what I mean? Doing things in the community and things of that nature. So I totally get it. But on another note, what's the most misunderstood misconception about you?
I believe I got a good heart.
Mm,
Everybody just think, I'm just around uh taking from people, or they just think I'm around just soaking up the energy and making it all about me, or you feel me? I
mm,
can see it, even if people don't say it, and I can hear it, even if people want to whisper it from across the room. I can feel it in your vibe and energy if you don't like me for real, and you don't understand me or know me. Like I don't care about none of that. But at the end of the day, it's my heart that people keep taking into judgment.
I got you. I
They
got you.
never, they never actually seen the mean me yet. So they always seeing the nice guy. They always seeing the nice guy, the guy that's there supportive, boom, 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 boom. So they hate that shit. So you feel me? A
I
lot of
got you.
people, a lot of people hate good human beings. Put it like that.
Which is a shame. It's really great. It's kind of ass backwards if you think about it. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying? It is.
yeah.
So you talked about We Are One, an upcoming event, but what other bookings do you have that's on the horizon right now?
Shit, I got as of right now, I'm starting to collect my bookings back. I took a little mental health break. So as of right now, I will be at BCW in September. I will be at Monster Factory's next event. I will be at Titan Championship Wrestling's event, Mount Olympus in November. I will be at my man Don's promotion in November 1st. I will be at Matt Pro Wrestling coming up soon in September as well. So I'm starting to accumulate my dates back and pop out. And also, I'm always around. You feel me? Just because I'm not wrestling, I'm always popping up, supporting, and always helping out my young boys and my sisters and my brothers. I mean, I feel don't need my energy and help. I mean, what I learned, I could probably pass something off to them.
Awesome, awesome. Now, where can folks, as we begin to close out, where can folks find you on social media?
You can find me at Salim Alexander on Facebook. You feel me? That's just where I interact with the community and people in general. That's not really, you feel me, my page, but 1-800 Bangers is on Facebook. You can catch me at 1-800 Bangers on Instagram too. You feel me? And Mr. 1-800 Bangers Daniel Alexander on YouTube. Well, you mean I'm everywhere.
Awesome. Well, Daniel, again, this has been a really awesome interview. Like I said, I was looking forward to doing this for a long time. I know we have been talking about it.
I appreciate you.
Nah, man, seriously, and I know we've worked together close to 7 years, and this ain't it. This is just the beginning. And like I said, I know that bigger things are coming up for you on the horizon for sure.
Hell yeah, brother. I appreciate you for that. Hopefully, we can get to WWE, AEW, somewhere on TV, and we can pull the Del Rio and Ricardo off, and you're my personal ring announcer.
Yeah, your mouth to God's ears, man. All right.
Yeah, manifest it. I love you, brother.
Likewise, man. Well, that does it for this week's edition of the D-Lew Podcast. Once again, thank you, Daniel Alexander, for giving us your time and telling your story. And I look forward to seeing you really, really soon for sure. Um, as I always say, ladies and gentlemen, if you haven't done so already, subscribe, no matter the platform. Apple Podcasts, Spotify, YouTube, Amazon Music, everywhere, iHeartRadio, and on my YouTube channel, if you look Derrick T. Lewis, The Real D-Lew, or the D-Lew Podcast, you can look it up in the search engine and make sure when you hit the bell for subscribing, scroll down and hit all so you get all new content whenever there's an alert available. So whether it's the D-Lew Podcast, if it's music related, or some bonus footage that won't be in the RSS feed of the podcast, it'll just be in a YouTube exclusive. So make sure you do that. You can follow the show on social media at the D-Lew Podcast. You can follow my company, Siete Media, at Siete Media on all platforms. And of course, you can follow me on social media at The Real DT Lew, with the exception of Facebook, which is Derrick T. Lewis official page. Hit up my pro wrestling tee store at pwt.derricklewis.com. And of course, you can hit up the Derrick T. Lewis official merchandise store, where you can get that official Nike merch, hoodies, hats, t-shirts, sweats, novelty items, etc. over at shop.derricklewis.com. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to get out of here. And as I always say, no matter what it is you do in life, always remember to make it count and have yourself a wonderful and happy and safe Labor Day weekend.